little bit different this time around. Maybe it is. Okay, there. Hi there. Welcome to the live stream. You let me know if everything's fine and working. Which I think I can do at the same time on that. So the way it's been done this time round, instead of being done on mobile, it's on laptop. So we'll see how things go, of course. But yeah, feel free to let me know if the audio is clear enough and whatnot. I think the camera is a bit reversed. So if I stand this way. Oh yeah, because the camera is on the left-hand side. Audio's good. That's good to see. Yeah, so what I can do, I can multitask this time round. If I look cross-eyed, it's because I'm looking at the live chat, which is on the right-hand side of the screen. Normally when I'm on mobile, it's actually on the left. But depending which way I'm looking, I think the camera might be reversed. So when I say right, it might mean left. But yeah, it means more can be done this time round. So we've got Cryptoin, welcome. Yellow, of course, welcome back. Reef Connor, it's good about your hair. It's good about the audio is fine. Of course, Strawberry, big shout out to Strawberry. And then we've got Ilden Lens, evening. So I've got a few bullet point notes, of course, as usual, which I'll get through today. Go through it bit by bit. Just adapting on the spot. This is the first ever live stream on a different device. So we'll just see how it goes, of course, as well. I think everything on screen's fine and clear. When you did the voices reading the comments, I was cracking up. Oh, wait, was that the Jay Silverheels one? The American accent? Could that be it? Yeah. I'll tell you something, Mike. If that was the one, that actually temporarily helped my cough. You know, you think talking makes it worse. For some reason, it seems to improve it. Crypto said, I opened a Telegram group called the Kenny Veach case, just in case people want to post pictures or anything relevant to the case. That's good to know. At one point in the past, I used Telegram myself. It was temporary. More so used it just when chatting with the odd person elsewhere. I believe Sean Hallacker, fellow MK Kenny Veach investigator, was using or has been using Telegram in the past. So there is that. So yeah, I've got bullet points of the latest topics and breaking news in the case. There might be some breaks. When I say breaks, like ad breaks within this live stream because it's being done on a different device. What that should hopefully allow is for people to have a little break here and there if needed. If you need to get a drink, if you need to stretch, do whatever you need to do. I think as for the controls and layouts, it seems pretty simple, which is all fine. Live streams can be done built in on screen. So if I was, looking online, I was on Facebook or I was on a different page, Google Earth, I'd be able to do a live stream on Google Earth. But I don't know. I just find it risky because if it can record anything on screen, if it picked up like anything personal or private or just the normal photos or anything like that, I think it's just a bit. Whereas with the webcam, I can control more as for what's around me and what isn't. So for now, at least, keep it as it is. But welcome to anyone else that has joined. Feel free to share the live if you'd like to. I was able to actually share the live differently this time around because normally on mobile, it would kick me off. So what I'll do, just for a second, with the bullet points next to me, just wait for a couple more people to join along and then I'll get into it. I can just put it down there for now. That might be a little bit better so that I'm looking more straight. There. Might mention a little bit about the Noah Presgrove case, possibly. Not as much has gone on there at the moment. Oh, we got Jacqueline Kerr. I remember Jacqueline. Welcome. It's good about your hair. Remember to hit the like button, Shout out to Reeve there. I believe there was a newer viewer or someone that popped in last night during live premiere, an individual from Ireland, which is very interesting to see. I've noticed a couple more people here and there from the UK that have come on in, especially into this case, which is a big positive. There have been some interesting observations as well in recent time. I don't know why people have been focusing in on whether I blink or not. So there is that. Some obsessions about do I grow a beard or facial hair? I don't know why. Maybe people just want to buy the hair off me or something. Put it on eBay. Oh my god! Speaking of which, we've got Earthling greetings. I've summoned Earthling. Hello there. I come in peace, but I might leave in pieces. That's out of context, that. Okay, so we've got a good, healthy amount of people present. That's all good to see. I think one thing to kick it off with, it's a little bit out there, is the backpack situation with Kenny Veach. Or we've got Crystal Fox. That's a good username. Hey there, how are you? I'm fine, thanks. And how are you? I did share this live stream on Reddit, Discord, and Twitter, so it might bring in maybe a few other people here and there. We'll see how things go. Important to spread awareness on the Kenny Veach case, of course, because of everything that's gone down in recent time. Over the last week or so, we've had Really Robin responding with an update there, whether you believe in it or not. Crypto and mentioned about Robin did another video recently and some strange coordinates provided. I did have a look, Crypto Tone, at Google Earth just before this stream started, and I didn't look at it too close, but I think it's either on or literally in military land, possibly. Krypton, I always wonder why the black belt is in the door behind you. I assumed it was to stop a rattle or to let your family know you are on camera. Well, basically, it's actually a tie. It's not even a belt. I am not going to be risking a belt, or should I say, a whip in the doorway. That'll be used elsewhere. But no, it's just to keep the door solid, so I don't rip it off. In the past, though, when trains would pass by, there was rattling. There was actually rattling, but I think that might have been a lamp or something. I'm surprised no one picked up on the wonky lamp in the past. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what other rattling there is. To be honest, that bedpost is a bit wonky. Well, it's not wonky, but if you used to press it, it would hit against a wall. But I don't think there'd be anything like that going on. Nice. So welcome to everyone else that has joined along and those watching in the background. So with Kenny Veach's backpack, it was mentioned in the past by another YouTuber. Can't remember who it was, but I'm sure I did a video about it. And they were talking about they were out on a hike in the Mojave Desert. Was it, which road was it? Was it Pine Nut Road, Corn Creek Road? It was somewhere, and they claimed to have found a certain coloured backpack abandoned, and it was suggested that was it Kenny Veach's. There was never an update on it, and the YouTuber never really referred back to it. It was such a strange time as well. Got the water beside me. And as well, we're doing the live stream here on this device and with the use of the mobile here. If anything did go down, if there's any like live breaking news or anything else happening, I can just look at the phone and then I can read it out to you also. A loose end can be frustrating. Yeah, especially when it might be someone in a certain position that could provide updates. It's the way people casually come on in and say, oh yeah, I was out there and I did pass by something of interest. I did pass by a backpack. And it's like, well, that's pretty important. That's quite serious. Yeah, it could be anyone's backpack, could be any hiker, but still, when it's out there and as desolate and quiet as it is, who else is it going to belong to? I wonder. Okay. I might have a video of it somewhere. because I'm sure I did a video about it in the past, the backpack. But look, the other thing that needs to be acknowledged is when Scott Natal was out there further north of Wild Horse Pass and came across that rock formation where the sword and the tent was found. In such a desolate area, what the hell is a sword and tent doing there? They're so creepy. The tent was all ripped up, shredded up against the rocks, and a bamboo concealed sword. Why would anyone need that when out there? A hiking pole, yeah. A small knife for camping, yeah. But a long sword? Now, Robin, the fake one, has claimed something to do with it was his or something, and that was in the past. That you could say that's attention-seeking behavior. But still, you got a backpack found over there. You got a sword and tent found close to where Kenny Veach was hiking. How long was that sword and tent there for? People could say going round in circles with some of these topics, but the questions, are different with time and do need to be brought up clearly. There we go. I did do a video. Was Kenny Veach's backpack found? Now, I don't know. I mean, it is my video, so there won't be any copyright. If I could play you it or the audio, maybe that could work. Oh my God. How about just put it on that just for a second. I don't know what the reflection is like. Oh my God. Does he show? Can't tell. So that was in the shed. That's when talking about the case. I'm just trying to find the comment. It was Gene Lakowski that mentioned it. But there might have been a YouTuber somewhere that also talked about it as well. Swords needed in the desert. Exactly, because, at the end of the day, if you're in a rainforest, if you're in a thick, deep jungle with lots of bushes, lots of trees, sharp plants and thorns, you're probably going to need a machete or a sword. You're in a desert. It's open, it's vast, hardly any vegetation. So why would you need a sword? Hopefully it's not reversed. Let me just make sure there's brightness is on. Zoom in on the screen. Will that show? In March 2018, Kenny's backpack was found near Old Corn Creek Road and Alamo Road near eastern perimeter of Area 51 by a group of hikers. Does that show clear enough? Hopefully. Yeah. So it's Gene Lakowski that mentioned it. But wasn't there a follow-up by another YouTuber? Because I'm sure there was a YouTuber that did a video or there was context of it, because Gene says that it was done by a group of hikers, and then the person said, do you have a source? And somewhere down the line, there was like a link or something. The reason why I'm bringing it up, because there was a viewer in the comment section of one of my recent videos, a viewer in the comment section that brought it up. People's memories out there are really good at the end of the day, because some of this stuff I don't remember myself. Even with Jeff Clark archiving those comments, not just Jay Silverheels, but more so Sharon Pilgrim, when she was going about playing hot and cold with that other YouTuber. Oh, I'll let you know if you get to the I'll let you know if you get close to the truth or not. Very interesting. Welcome to anyone else that has joined along to this live stream. Kenny Veach, Cave Case Mystery, latest breaking news, shocking updates, and key points, which I will get into. First of all, we're talking about the backpack, bringing that back up so it doesn't get forgotten about. Supposedly, Kenny Veach's backpack, or at least a backpack, was found. And it was, just to check the screen once again so everyone can see it. because people may be joining late and whatnot. Just one more time. Gene Lukowski, March 2018. Kenny's backpack was found near Old Corn Creek Road and Alamo Road near the eastern perimeter of Area 51. Corn Creek Road, Alamo Road. What was in the backpack? I don't think there was no update given, and that's what the problem is. Gene Lukowski was claiming to be a part of the Red Rock search and rescue back then in 2014 and 2015. Gene Lukowski also mentioned about Hayford Peak further north. There was coordinates where abandoned campsites were found, 2 of which, but they were on the mountains, peaks, and that could have been anyone. We got Smed, I can't say the name. We got Smed, welcome. Tropical, welcome to the live. Crystal, crazy. It hasn't been talked about more, the backpack. This is the crazy thing, Crystal. It is mostly documented on my channel because I've got about 500 plus videos, but out of the 500 videos on my channel, there's a very high chance that quite a lot of what's been covered, which is breaking news, hasn't even touched the surface when it comes to the general public, either because people don't go looking for it deep enough or because I'm a smaller channel. There's no favoritism. The bigger channels will dwarf over. So the important news by the smaller creators get forgotten about. Sometimes the algorithm may not put it out there, which is unfortunate. Oh, we got Circa, welcome. It's good that you're back again. But it looks like I've only done one video on the backpack. The thing is, I need to do a follow-up video on the sword and tent because it was what was found nearby. The tent bag, you know, it in itself. The reason why is because the bag is a similar color to what Kenny Veach had when he took a photo of himself on an old hike back in 2011 or so. So you could argue and say, oh, is that Kenny Veach's bag then? I mean, I'll do a video on it anyway, but right now you could argue and say, well, if Kenny Veach's sword and tent was found further north, how come his scent ended at the mine shaft before that? How does he get from the mine shaft to further north with no scent in between? We've got Andrew Culver. Is it Andrew? I get mixed up between the different Andrews, but we've got Andrew, the Kiwi man, because username's different on screen. Reeve, I think there was a lot of interest in the case at specific times, but it seems to die out. Your coverage is so extensive and well done. I appreciate that, Reeve Connor. Oh, I forgot to say, as for the profile picture, the hair color, what do you call it, the fade or the dye, looks good. We've got Circa. Welcome to the channel membership. Now Circa has access to a variety of tools and good badges, which are hand created by myself. I need a drink already, just water. Got to make sure I don't spill it, because last time when I got some water, I did spill it. So you got possibilities of Kenny Veach's backpack being found in the past, possibilities of Kenny Veach's tent bag and possible tent being found. The only strange thing is when Scott Natal went back to that spot, he was the first person to capture it on camera. Get tanked. Yeah, don't know what that means really, but never mind. Scott Natal, when he went back to that rock formation, whilst the sword was already gone because he took it in the first place, the tent was nowhere to be seen. And originally it was in a small rock formation, like a very narrow little small opening. It was up against the rocks. It was catching on the ruggedness and stuff. It wasn't going to move. So where did it go? I don't think it would have blown away. So who stole it? It's so weird. We've got, I don't know if the usernames are the tag handles in the live chat. That's why it looks different. But we've got WRXSTI. Smash that like button. Rafi's not dead. What, me or Kenny? So appreciate that. Yeah, if you want to hit the like button, that'll be appreciated. Smed says the name comes from the fact that I am a blacksmith. And means blacksmith, and my real name is Ake from Sweden. Nice. Another Swedish viewer. Is it Linda? I can't remember the names, but there is another viewer, Ake, on his channel from Sweden as well. That's all good. Blacksmith, forging, like knives. I did watch Forged in Fire, which is really good. So before we go any further, if there's any questions or thoughts, ideas you want to share before I do get into it, feel free to do so. Okay. What else do we have? Everything all catched up. The good thing is as well with doing the live stream here, I can actually look at the live chat and it doesn't disappear off screen. Whereas on mobile device, if you do it horizontally, the chat disappears and you got to keep tapping the screen. I can't keep up with it. Do we have any other stuff on the sideline to bring up? As for notes, as a little preview, we've got a video that can be done on the original Really Robin hike. Something that he said in the video, very eye-opening, the timing of it. As said, not everything is about the fake Robin. There's unfinished business with the original, real, Really Robin. We've got an analysis on Kenny Veach's previous hike that he did, which really needs to be looked into. Actually, let's just check for a second. Earthling greeting. Let's discuss Robin's new video. So I'm not going to play the video because I'm probably going to get copyright if there's music or video footage, but I noticed that there was coordinates. So Earthling greeting, would you like me to get Google Earth up on the phone and type in the coordinates and see where it takes us, maybe? I can do that at least. Tropical, could you make a really in-depth Google map showing all searched locations, including locations where backpack sword tent found? Okay. In terms of knowing every possible location that's been searched, that could be a little bit tricky. I know individual hikers have done their own little map analysis here and there, especially J Chuck Vlogs, when he did all the ravines on the right side going up Jome Canyon. What I have done, Tropical, do you know, like, if there was certain locations or items or mysteries of interest, if you wanted the map location to some of that, feel free to drop a comment down below under the live stream or on the next video, and then I can provide you the links, because I've done individual map analysis videos of where the sword and tent was found. See, when it came to the sword and tent, Scott Natal originally didn't provide coordinates. Basically, he was just recording his hike. I'm not even from the country. I'm not from the area, no experience there, not a hiker, but I visually used his on-ground footage, mapped it out with my memory on Google Earth, planned out the hike route, what he did pretty much, and where exactly the sword and tent was. I reached out to Scott afterwards and I did say, is this correct? And he said pretty much yes. So I do have some references there. As for one big video, technically that's a good idea, but at the same time it's not, and you might wonder why, is because when you put markers, beacons, and text on the screen of the map, it gets so cluttered, it's impossible to see everything. So I tend to break it down bit by bit, so it's not too overwhelming. When I've done the Noah Presgrove true crime case, that was done as a timeline, but I had to spread it all out as for the dates, the times, because there was a lot going on. We've got Steve. Welcome, Steve. What else do we have? Right, so Earthling Greeting says, yes, please. So, yeah, I'll do that. What I'll do is I'll just get Robin's video up first of all. And as well, it's best not playing the video because we don't want to advertise the individual too much if they are a bit dodgy. Welcome to anyone else that has joined during the live stream of Kenny Veach, latest updates and news. The Really Robin fake account has popped up once again with a cryptic video showing clips from Stranger Things, with a bit of a story to it. I'm not going to play the audio or anything because I don't want copyright claims. The real reason is honestly shocking. Max is trapped inside Henry Creel's mind. She keeps trying to escape, but Henry finds her every time and hunts her down. But when she hides in a cave area that looks totally normal, Henry suddenly stops. He freezes. He actually looks scared. For the first time we've ever seen real fear on his face. What is this, Stranger Things or something? So basically, some bad guys after a girl. She reaches a cave. He stands outside. He normally catches up to her, but this time around, he's scared all of a sudden because of this one cave. Oh, what a coincidence. It sounds like Kenny Veach going up to that one cave for the first time around, and now he's suddenly scared. So is this telling a cryptic story that there is a cave that Kenny was scared of? The coordinates are provided, but it's in a completely different area. The thing is, Cleo says Warlight Raph's hairy chest. What the fuck? I mean, my chest is not even on show, so I don't know what you're looking at, Cleo. Jesus Christ. Calm yourself down. First time we've ever seen real fear on the person's face. That cave becomes Max's safe space. So why is Henry terrified of this place? The stage played I'm basically reading out the captions or the subtitles of the video by Robin, in case you're wondering. Henry Creel wasn't born with powers. When he was a kid in Nevada, he wandered into a cave and disappeared for 12 hours. Right, so this is kind of like a little crossover with Kenny Veach then, I guess. During those hours, he's accidentally entered the Upside Down. The Mind Flare corrupted him there, gave him terrifying telekinetic abilities, and linked him to the hive mind. Well, to be honest, if Kenny Veach has got telepathic abilities with his mind, it's a shame he couldn't get the named locations correct on his hike. The experience was pure trauma. He returned to the real world, changed. That's when Dr. Brenner found him and turned him into the first Hawkins. What, Stephen Hawkins? Lab test subject, Max's hiding cave, most likely the same cave Henry first entered. Let me try and show you this. I don't know if it's actually from a show. Not too sure, but it seems to... Let me zoom in, you bastard. Why did not let me zoom in? Petty ass bitch. Anyway. I can't bloody flip the screen because it's like mirrored, so when I turn it one way, it turns the other. It looks like an M, that particular cave, but it's from a show or something. Can you see the M? Oh, my finger in the way. There. Looks like it. Oh, we got Kendley Wardstone. I think the M cave is fictional, just a story. The thing is with Kenny Veach, if he did fake anything, if he told a story and that's all it was for attention, he has heavily misunderestimated the strangeness of the area itself, whether he disappeared and it wasn't down to his choice. Yes, changed the name from Henry to Kenny. Okay. All those... Excuse me, Andrew. You might have got mixed up with somebody else. Glenn, if you don't give this Robin guy any attention, he may just go away. Right, just as a heads up, Glenn, this fake Robin, I haven't covered for years. When he showed up a few years ago, I did 1 or 2 videos and I said, oh, this person appears to be fake. And then I did nothing after that. And through that silence, then they showed up again and things going on. So, like when it comes to drama and getting attacked, you don't always, you can you can keep a low profile. You don't have to say or do anything. You can stay out of the drama. But guess what? You will still get attacked. You'll still get labeled. Bad things will happen. And if you don't do anything, snowball effect, it'll get worse, out of control, and everyone else loses the mind and it all goes downhill. So sometimes you need to stay on top of it. This time around, it's more so about focusing in on spreading the awareness of what's real, what's not, what's fake. There was a fake Warlight Raf too. What, during the Dylan Rounds case or Kenny Veach case? You let me know. He may have something good to say. Who? Mike, there was also a fake Susan. Yes, there was. The fake Susan account was to do, was leaving dodgy comments talking about an incestuous relationship with Kenny Veach to make it look bad. Oh shit! Sorry, Earthling. Greeting. I'm supposed to be showing you the coordinates. So let me just finish off this video, just reading it out. The cave where his fear, trauma, and pain were born. That place hits him in a way nothing else can. So you're telling me that Kenny Veach developed some trauma by being pressed up to a cave? That cave rock was so sharp, like prodded him from behind. He got probed and was dissatisfied with it, and he's scared for life. I don't know what's going on here. It's the one thing that shakes his mind. That's why he won't go in. And because it's the birthplace of his powers. What powers does he have? Powers of getting lost. Walking inside could expose his biggest weakness right in front of Max. Anything else? So will Max use this to fight back against Vecna in the final season? I don't know, because I don't follow it. But there are coordinates, and will it allow me? My coordinates are there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy and paste them, of course. And we'll then go on Google Earth. Let's see if it will allow me to. Actually, I think I've already typed them in. Let me just check on Google Earth because it might have remembered when I did. What else do we have? So many fakes. It's true. Oh, we got Trav. Welcome, Trav, to the live stream. For those that didn't know, this live stream is the very first one ever on a different device besides mobile. That's why I'm able to use the phone this time around. We also, who else do we have? There was another person that might have shown up. Tropical. Oh, we got MF. Welcome. I'll just move the paper because I don't want it to cause any static. And there we go. Cryptoan. Shout out to Cryptoan for pasting the coordinates in the chat. So if anyone else wants to check it out themselves, they can. I'm going to do it myself in just a second. Okay. This one. Just get the screen rotated. Right, so you might not show much at first. The thing is, what needs to be acknowledged is it on military land or not? Can I drag the camera screen? So you got, what's that? Belted range up that way, top right corner. Rainer Messer. It's a bit hard to do, but if I zoom in, what do we have here? The ground itself doesn't look anything special. I don't actually see anything going on down there. The way it drops down, a flat ground. See, the thing is, let's just say that, with Robin being fake and those coordinates are provided. If Robin's first attempt was to fake the pen drive and try and encourage someone to go out there, whether they get injured or not, encourage people to go out there, what's the next plan now? To encourage people to go over to that land where the coordinates are. I said, I don't have the markings laid out right now, but I'm sure Jeff Claw will know immediately. Is that on military land? I'll have to zoom out and maybe measure the distance. But if it's on military land or on the border, and anyone did try going there, probably are going to get in trouble. So it's probably a bit risky, possibly. Glenn, I just had this live cut off with a commercial. That's a first. Yeah. So as for the live streams on other devices, I guess it works different compared to mobile, but hopefully at times it allows a break here and there if you need to get a drink, if you need to stretch or do anything you need to do without missing out on too much. If anything needs repeating, don't worry. I can mention it in a second. I think what I'll probably do, Earthling greeting, is I probably can do a separate video, a proper map analysis of the coordinates of Robin with the original location of the hike route that Kenny did. Then we can measure the distance. Because when you type in coordinates on Google Earth and then you open up a project, it ends up losing the red dot unless you add it as a beacon point. So I'll do that in a separate project. I will have a little look around on the device in a second to see if I can see anything else of interest, and I'll show up on screen. Mike, there has got to be something that triggered the new Robin to come about. Could be worthwhile to develop a reasonable motive or instance. So the thing is, Mike, this so-called Robin account actually showed up some years ago. It was after the original Robin had disappeared. And then the fake Robin went quiet, didn't do much. Some years ago, the fake Robin scheduled a video for 2024 of November. People waited like 2 years for the video. Crazy. I didn't wait because I knew it was going to be a waste of time, and it was. A quick look on here. Anything else to catch on? Right, so if I rotate around, what is in sight I'm familiar with? Charleston Peak over there. But where is... Let's first of all check. Right, so that's north. It's probably actually further away than I thought. Does it... Oh, hang on a minute. Hold on a minute. I believe it is military land. Yeah. I think it could well be military land, which the coordinates have been provided. That's not good. Desert Wildlife Refuge. So what I think what I did, Earthling, I did a video about the land proposal takeover. I did a map analysis of military land, which was already owned, private, and then I did where it was going to be taken over. So if I load that project up, I'll see if it's within the area of the coordinates. That's probably the best plan forward. Cleo, could Kenny have been talking spiritually about everything, almost kind of puzzling crypticness? I wouldn't say Kenny Veach is a cryptic individual, more so, no offense, incompetent when it comes to describing things. He's so all over the place. The only cryptic thing, more so clue, would be from his house video when he's describing a skeleton on a table, rolling dice, gambling with their life, lost in the desert. Because it sounds like Kenny Veach telling what's going to happen to him. We've got Random. Welcome to the live. Watching our back. F-32's on the way. Oh my God. He just triggered J. Silvio's F-32 fighter pilot. My God. It'll be raining down on the building. It's going to come crumbling down in a second. I'm going to be covered in concrete. Yeah, bring it on, man. Yeah, we got this. Exactly. Sending care packages immediately. Right, can I load up my project if possible? Depends if I've still got it. Because I've still got the bloody no Presgrove things on air. Missing time. I wonder if it could be elsewhere. God, there's so many no Presgrove ones. That's crazy. Kenny Veach, Kenny Veach. No, it's not there. Unless it could be on another one. And if not, I probably could get screenshots. It should be possible some way or another. What do we have? Military. And you know what? If it's not obtainable, I can always just reach out to Jeff Clark because it will be that way for sure. Military, military, military. US military. Ah, those documents. 45 mile map analysis. There we go, found it. So if I can get on screen, I'll try and show you in just a second. I love my M4A1. Nice. How many notes have we actually got through? So we're already talking about breaking news and important stuff, but there is more to it as well. I think there's actually a diagram which I could possibly show you in a second. Right. So it's not the best, but this is just a suggestion. It's very rough, basically, put it that way. So what you see in blue is the hiking area, a little bit further beyond as well, which Kenny Veach did and other hikers have done since. My finger over there, the blue there. You know, you got the sword and tent, mineshaft and Farron. You see there, and then everything on. Oh god, I'm blue cross-eyed. Everything on the other side, over the red line, is to do with the military, which is already owned by military. So, not that it's easy to do, but if you was able to, you know, compare those coordinates of really Robin to what's on screen, I think you probably come to the conclusion and say Area 51 is there. It's probably going to be Area 51 land. So what does that actually imply? Because I don't think Kenny Veach would have hiked onto that bit. Rachel. Actually, hold on a minute. Interesting. Yeah, so I think it is on military land. The coordinates that really Robin has provided, I believe it's on military land. So that's talking about the cave is over there at Area 51. Not so much the base, but the land of it. The land of Area 51. I mean, it might have been too obvious, but it would have made more sense to have put the coordinates literally at the base of Area 51, not just on some random land owned by military. Because the land, what you see is quite flat. Don't really see any caves or anything like that. And even if it was somehow linked to the M cave, well, Kenny Veach wouldn't have seen it there in the first place because he wouldn't have been able to even get on that part of the land in the first place because it's so far in. So, you know, if you didn't know too much, it might be different when you're there if there's actually signs and fences. But let's say there wasn't, or if people ignored it, yeah, you could get in trouble. Big trouble, to be honest. So if anyone is watching and comes across those coordinates, don't be too influenced to go out hiking there. Check the maps before you do so you don't get in trouble yourself, because this so-called Robin could get people in danger for that reason. And if I can do a proper map analysis, if I get everything all together, hopefully, then I definitely will do that. No, I don't think Kenny Veach would wander into Area 51, but could he have been taken to Area 51 by someone else or groups? There's always that chance. Now, it's got 53 people watching in the live. That's really good to see. Welcome to everyone else that's come along, new viewers as well, and people in the background. Some interesting developments going on at this moment in time live with the really Robin situation and the coordinates, of course. Trav, stream quality looking good. That's good to see. Yeah, so Trav, normally I do it on mobile device, but this time I'm doing it on laptop. So there's just a few extra features which can be done using webcam because it's safer to do at this moment in time. So yeah, everything looking all good and fine there. What's that? Bring to Bermesis. Bear, okay. Oh, bear masses, bear mace. Yeah, so what needs to be also acknowledged is the videos that have been done in recent time over the last week. There's been some interesting developments there. Let me just give it time. No, that's the one thing it doesn't give. It doesn't give like a timestamp of what the time is in the comment section as it did on mobile. That's interesting. Kenny's hike. So just put that there for a second. Any chance to pinpoint where SB found that rope going down the cliff? Okay, so that's obviously a key one, Steve, which can be done. I'll need to look at SB's video overall just to get a general idea. I don't think Scott Natal is about to reach out. The thing is, I don't know if you knew, Steve, but what SB came across, as in that rope, Scott Natal actually went there months beforehand in 2025, and not many people know or watched the video. Kind of crazy that Scott Natal was in that area. Scott Natal was somehow influenced to maybe go up really Robbins Canyon and round there. Well, Scott Natal hasn't been publicly involved in the community the same way as others. What has he been doing his research in the background? Has he been secretly watching my videos in the background? Because we've done some heavy focuses on that. Jeff Clark's done his own video as well, SB now. So it does make you think. Supposedly, there's been some developments in regard to Kenny Veach's big hike that he did, where he said he was 20 miles away from where his vehicle was parked when he was up a mountain in the past, blew his left leg out, and needed to be airlifted from a mountain. Trying to understand where the location was, hard to do so when you can't look back at his previous comments. However, Jeff Clark supposedly remembered where it was at, and that was Sunrise Mountain. Now, the reason why Sunrise Mountain is really significant is it goes to show that Kenny Veach was over that way in the past. Is that where the M Cave is? Well, isn't Sunrise Mountain like 30 plus miles away from Sheep Peak in that area, Sheep Range? Well, yes, but the thing is, when you look at Kenny Veach's original comment on YouTube, he said that he found the M Cave near Nellis Air Force Base. Not Nellis Test Range, not Nellis Bombing Range, not Area 51, but Nellis Air Force Base. And word for word on Google Earth, that's on the outer skirts east of Las Vegas, and it's close to Frenchman Mountains. More importantly, it's close to Sunrise Mountains. So for Kenny Veach to be once at Sunrise Mountains near Nellis Air Force Base, and Kenny also said maybe another time on his hike, he came across the M Cave over that way. Kind of interesting. Now, I'm not saying that people need to go over that way and do all hiking because maybe it was a misunderstanding by Kenny Veach, but it still needs to be acknowledged because, you never know. I hope we can see that location. Kenny, geez. Which location? As in Sunrise Mountain or Sunrise Mountain, Frenchman Mountain is important as well because there are locations over there of interest which have very unique looking caves and whatnot. Well, we got Trevor Mains. Welcome. Good evening from a wet Worcester, England. Ah, nice from the UK. So I don't think it's raining here at the moment, but it's probably cold out. Where the helicopter picked him up, that location. Well, we don't actually know if the helicopter is involved, but you never know. There's always some possibilities on the sideline. So the other thing is, besides the location where Kenny Veach got injured and did his leg in, needing help, it's important to acknowledge that where he did it was in a more tourist populated area and he was still screwed. So just imagine if something did go wrong, if he's in Sheep Range, Little Jermain Canyon, which is far, far more desolate than Sunrise Mountains. Unless Kenny pushed himself more in a public area, thinking that if it had gone wrong, or if it did, he's got more chance of survival, maybe. Jeff Clark believed that Kenny might have exaggerated in distance, but also exaggerated in terms of how much panic he was in. Maybe he decided to, push himself too far, so he didn't have enough water, or he just didn't take much, or he was running out and need to be rescued that way so he wasn't dehydrated. There's that one. But the distance fact, if he had lied or exaggerated the distance, he could have done and meant the same thing when he was talking to his nephew Hunter. When he said about, if I don't find the cave, the M cave, I'm going to hike north for 45 miles. Why would anyone do that? 45 miles. Kenny Veach could barely cover 10 to 11 miles on the hike route. So, what do you think? Yeah, and as for Robin, besides those coordinates, the latest news with the fake really Robin, and it does link back to Driven X Adventures. So I don't know if you've seen it yourself, but Driven X Adventures had done a video in recent time talking about the mineshaft being filled in, showing Susan's message or email to the DNWR, the conversation there. Driven X Adventures also claimed but the reason why Susan did reach out to the DNWR is because Robin personally, privately reached out to Susan and told her what he was going to do. And then days later, Robin then uploaded his shorts clip, November 14th or something around that of 2024, saying what he's done. I mean, if Robin had reached out to Susan in the background first, it would explain as to why and how she knew about it before we did online, and she took direct action. However, I think what needs to be acknowledged, first of all, we got Cleo, welcome back as a member, appreciate that. It's important to acknowledge that with really Robin doing what he did, the timing of it, there wasn't much urgency from the DNWR and teams that were supposed to fill it in. But Robin recently responded, and if you look back on my last video or two, Robin in the comment section had mentioned that he never contacted Susan Veach privately. He never did that. Please don't call me darling, Cleo. Just refer to me as Raf. There's only one person that calls me that. Interesting. Very. In the camera, the angle and everything's all good. Everything's all in frame. That's all good. Just need to get used to the positioning of where I stand because I need to be more centered over here. But for me, it looks like I'm kind of off screen, but I'm centered. So apologies about that. I'll get used to it eventually. Welcome to anyone else that has joined along the way. If you need any breaks in between, or if you do get a little break on screen here and there, feel free to get a drink, relax, or I don't know, you need to take the bins out or anything like that, or the dog, or the cat. Oh, there we go. We've got Cryptic. Welcome. It's good about your hair. Name dropped your channel to AJ from the Y-Files for Kenny Veach updates. They did an episode a few years. Named dropped your channel. Okay. Yeah, so the interesting thing is Cryptic, the one from the Y-Files, did actually give a little shout out in the description of their video. However, the tag handle hasn't been updated because the problem is, at the time, it was WLW dot, and unfortunately, it actually conflicted with some other random person on YouTube, some nobody. And whenever you typed it in, it would go to them and not me. So ever since, I've changed my tag handle so it's more unique and people are able to find me better. But you know, it was nice for a change for a bigger YouTube channel to give credit, not just to me, but to other people like Sean Hall-Ecker and you know anyone else that was mentioned in the video. That's all good. The only thing that Cryptic, the only thing that AJ or the Y-Files didn't include was the phone call from 2022. There might be some viewers right now that may have not known about it. I don't know if Crystal is still about, but 2022 November, Susan Veach received a missed phone call from Facebook from Kenny Veach's personal account. Someone behind Kenny Veach's Facebook account, Kenny himself maybe, actually directly contacted Susan Veach. She wasn't able to answer the call because she was busy at the time, which is very unfortunate. Had she accepted the call, who would have been on the receiving end? What would have been said? A lot of what ifs. Kind of a shame that. But it does make you think. What other notes do we have here? So there's a bit of conflict, isn't there? So you got, really, Robin, do you believe what he says, denying that he interacted with Susan Veach privately? Do you trust him? Some people are skeptical of Driven X adventures like Jeff Clark. I've not really known Driven for that long at all because I've been doing my own thing. And then you got Susan Veach as well. It's a bit of a Mexican standoff of who do you trust, who do you believe? Because where, you know, as soon as a person's fake or messes about, you know, how are you supposed to trust them? How are you supposed to believe them and what they say and do? Do I think that Robin did contact Susan in the background? Based on the timing of when Susan reported it into the DNWR, it was before the fake Robin uploaded the video about the pen drive claim. So Susan would have had to have known one way or another in the background. The fake Robin is suggesting that a fake Robin of the fake Robin himself had gone behind the back and reached out to Susan. It's getting a bit silly that you got the original Robin, then you got the fake Robin, and now the fake Robin is claiming another fake Robin is impersonating the fake Robin of the real Robin. God. We've got Sigma, welcome. Driven comes off as extremely scatterbrained to me. I've not seen many of the videos, but what I would say is, whilst some people, you know, may think differently of these hikers or people in the case, every now and then there might be a video of value. I mean, with Driven X Adventures going to the mineshaft, recording what it looks like now, filled in, giving a bit of description behind it as well, makes sense. Also very important to document it and see it in the moment. and doing it early on, or so, comparing it with Travis' neighbour's footage a month before, you can see it's done in a short space of time. But when Susan reported it in, a long distance space of time, I would say. What else do we have? Of course, we've had the other situation with Robin stalking Scott Natal. I don't know why the fake Robin would even bring that up. Lie or not, I don't know why you would say that about yourself because it makes you look bad. Driven was saying he thinks he knows where Kenny lives. I know there was a video by Driven, the title of the video saying, "Are you ready for Kenny Veach's hiding spot to be revealed?" There was that. Earthling, would it be possible in the future to do a video about Mojave Desert Area 51 border? Like a general video of the border overall? Mm. I'm just thinking, Earthling, I have done some crossover videos. What I could do, if I find them, I don't know, on this live stream or on the next video, if you drop a comment down below, I can respond back and share with you some links of what I've already done in relation to Area 51, in relation to other people getting caught up with Area 51, crossing over, getting in trouble. I don't know if you've seen it, Earthling, but have you heard of Mac Adventures, father and son from the US on bikes traveling about? They ended up pushing their luck at one of the empty back entrances to Area 51, and the father stepped over the line. For a second. Kryptone, I can't remember. It could have been on a live when he was saying about where Kenny lives or on the comments. Fair enough. Kind of interesting that. It's one of those things where it's kind of slowed down over the last day or two, but there's been some days where there's been more ideas of videos than actually making videos, but because of YouTube and trying to keep up with everything, not me, I just mean like just viewers being able to handle the load. It's important to space the videos out, not to delay, but just so people can keep up. What I am trying to do every now and then is short clips. So that's to a wider audience of people that don't know about stuff. Or, if you wanted a summary, I know it sounds like a miracle, me summarizing when I spend over an hour talking, but yes, I can actually do short clips here and there on the YouTube Shorts page section tab on my channel page. I've done some storytelling shorts about the mine shaft, the fill in, what's happened, who's responsible, why it was done, how it was done, etc. I can do that about other things as well, previous encounters and mysteries, just so it's more, in one place and done quick. So, I guess the other link that needs to be made is that with the fake Robin claiming to have been stalking Scott Natal when Scott has been out there, on how many occasions, I'm not too sure, but one of which Scott did capture a strange looking figure on the mountaintop when panning around. And the thing is, Steve, that was the hike that Scott did some months ago when he came across the rope in the same area as SB. So supposedly Robin indirectly is claiming to have been up that canyon, the Robbins Canyon, the original canyon, which Scott was at some months ago, and the fake Robin was claiming to have been there, stalking and observing. More so observing, not stalking. I use the term stalking because it's like dodgy, sneaky behavior. Why do it from a distance? Why monitor Scott Natal of all people? Why not other hikers? Why would a Robin be focusing in on one hiker and not the others? The interesting thing is that when Scott Natal mentioned that he mentioned that he heard someone talking when out there in a desolate place, he could hear voices or he could hear a voice. That was at the same time when he panned around when there was a strange looking figure on the mountaintop. And of all people, level headed Jeff Clark said he actually heard voices too, or he heard a voice. Out of all other hikes and stuff done, normally Jeff Clark and some others would say, no, I didn't hear anything whatsoever. But on this occasion, Jeff Clark actually picked up on something. He didn't say what he could hear as for actual words, but he could hear something. Me personally, I couldn't hear voices. I'm going to be honest with you on that one. But considering that Kenny Veach heard, well, he didn't hear, but I heard it in the footage, paranormal whispers, where it said, was it don't stop or something like that, and then follow the red tape. If you wanted a little backstory, um, I don't know if it summoned him or it encouraged him to begin the crypticness, but the moment I did my video, which was a valid observation on Kenny Veach capturing paranormal voices down Pitcher Canyon, follow the red tape. Really, Robin, the fake one, decided to start uploading videotape cassettes, audios, claiming interviews with people that know of Kenny Veach and talking about him being alive and stuff like that. Krypton. Scott goes with his brother and friend, so it was probably them. Is that so, Crypto? I mean, me personally, I thought Scott Natal on that hike up really Robbins Canyon and around there. I thought Scott Natal was by himself. I don't remember seeing him with his friends on that particular hike. On his more recent hikes, doing other stuff, he's been with his friend and his brother. And the thing is, what's interesting is Scott Natal's brother called Les Natal, who teamed up with Alan from what Mountain Labs Fortress that works for Heavy D, the Diesel brothers. They all teamed up in 2022 near or around Lucin, Utah, possibly crossing over. Was it the Dylan Rounds case? Well, they were in the same area, but that was it. When it came to Susan Powell and the Diesel brothers, Heavy D went to that mine shaft, the Bird's Nest one, digging it up, going deep underground. They ended up meeting with Alan and Les Nuttall. So you could say it's a bit of a small world. Oh, we got James Wilson. Welcome back. I remember you. Yeah, so Strawberry, have you heard of the Susan Powell case? I remember there was some interesting backstory. Actually, I don't know why I'm asking you, Strawberry, because technically I should remember due to my memory, but we might have mentioned it. Did he end up taking out the children or something? And there's some backstory of that. Yeah, okay, I remember that now, Strawberry. And there was a mention in the Heavy D video that when they were supposedly around a dining table, the husband, Susan Powell, said to his children or something about being cryptic about what he may have done, possibly a mine shaft taking him there, but no clear coordinates given. Kryptone, who is Eric that Robin talks about? Right, okay. Based on what I'm thinking, Kryptoin, the only Eric that I know of is known as Eric the Hiker. 2016, a YouTube channel who was also on Twitter said that they were going to go out searching for Kenny Veach. In 2016, Eric the Hiker did have a Twitter account, and Sharon Pilgrim in 2016 as well was in communication with Eric. And there was like, I don't know if it's still about, if it's still archived or not. I've done a video about it anyway. And Sharon said, "Hey, Eric, have you already gone out there? Not heard from you since. What's going on?" Yeah, Eric the Hiker. Strawberry, yes, he killed the kids in an awful way, then set the house on fire. So it may have revealed some secrets or clues and then took them out. So it would be taken to the grave, technically. I know Scott Natal has done some videos searching for Susan Powell. Do you know what I'll do? I'll try and get up Eric the Hiker if possible. No guarantee. Can I do it without signing in as well? Because I can't bother going through all of that. Because the last time I did it on Twitter, it was before Twitter X came about. Planning on visiting. At the moment, I think practically and due to to be honest, in terms of the other hikers that are climatized with the area, and they mentioned it's pretty difficult itself. An individual not experienced with the terrain, the environment, climatized to it in the first place could be a bit risky, possibly. Let me just catch up here. Josh brother jumped off a building. Wow. Cryptoan, I've looked and nothing, not even on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Oh, Crypto, are you saying that you tried looking for Eric the Hiker and he's nowhere to be found? If that's what you're saying, it's probably because he deleted his stuff for whatever reason that is. But look, at the end of the day, it's all under control because if it has been deleted, if it's all disappeared, it's all on my channel. As for the Twitter comments by Sharon and Eric, or Sharon one way, so it's all fine. And the problem is with Twitter nowadays, you get all things popping up on screen. Oh, right. But yeah, why can't I get the screen right? There we go. There's Sharon Pilgrim, 2016. Stay safe. So there's a handful of people saying, "I hope you're okay," and whatnot. Hmm. Interesting. Have you seen Lord and Art's Brain Scratch video on Kenny? Just watched it last night. Surprisingly good analysis. Is it a recent video, Trav? Lord and Art, let's check. Lord and Art, 178,000 subscribers. When did he last do it? I think was it Todd Grandy that psychologist or something that did an analysis on Kenny Veach. There was that one. Kenny Veach and the M Cave 9 years ago. Bloody hell. That is an old one. I think it was DJ Cook that I came across. I'm not going to play the video because I don't want to copyright, but oh yeah, wow. That's actually interesting, Trav, that you mentioned that because guess who commented on that guy's video? Sharon Pilgrim. Ooh. Let me just put on pause just so I don't get done for anything. So that's what Trav is referring to. So let me hold it in my hand, a bit wonky. I'm holding it in my weak wrist. Strawberry will now. I've not been on YouTube for several months. I continue to miss Kenny and think of him often and the fun and amazing things we did together. Watching MK video is bittersweet for me. Touches my heart, makes me sad, rekindles fun, loving memories. Brian, you put the information together in a respectful, caring way. Thank you, Sharon. We got coffee break and pancakes. Oh, you're going to make people hungry there. Welcome, coffee. It's good about your hair. MF, so was Eric Kenny or she knew two hikers? Right, so MF, Eric the hiker was supposedly a different person with the task themselves of searching for Kenny. Must have got in contact with Sharon in the early days. That's in 2016. And I think Sharon made a presence known in 2018. So that's very interesting, that, the timing. Did she leave any other comments in response? The thing is, as time goes... Oh, Nelia left a comment. Bloody hell, Trav. What have you done? You've opened up a portal here. We got Nelia, the Mount Everest tour guide, that actually responded back on Brian's video. Do you know where he is? Why you think Sussy? He seemed fine. Did he really find MK? If he Sussy, where you will. If you wonder why I'm talking like a complete idiot, it's because Nelia doesn't know how to use translator. We had that problem in the past. What the hell? Only 23 replies. That's quiet, that. But then again, it's an old video, so you got to think of all the other comments that could be out there to do with Sharon Pilgrim, what she said. Oh yeah, just as a heads up, there's no moderators here because I feel that people can behave accordingly. Any naughty behavior, I've got my own moderator and I'll introduce it just right now. Where is it? The only moderator that's needed is this, okay? It will be used if necessary, but we've not had that problem just yet. Right, so how long is it? 30 something minutes long? Right, so 9 years ago, to put it into perspective, 9 years ago, when this guy's talking about the channel, Kenny's YouTube channel 9 years ago only had what we see till this day. So it wasn't the extent, it wasn't the footage and clips. Unfortunately, people don't refer back to the additional comments because the additional comments by Sharon Pilgrim, besides claiming that Kenny's main camera was left at the house, an alternative camera was missing from the house. And supposedly, Sharon was suggesting that maybe Kenny took that with him. Any form of equipment that could be used to capture or take images implies that Kenny was intending on recording something, right? Or at least it comes across that way. But the thing is, What phone did Kenny Veach have at the time in 2014? Because if it was a smartphone, surely it would have had a camera on the back or the front, even if the quality isn't good. What I'm saying is, did Kenny Veach have his phone with him when he came across the M cave the first time? Now, his excuse was, oh, I didn't have my firearm with me, so I was scared. Okay, fair enough. But Kenny Veach's other excuse was, I didn't have my camera, the one what you've seen is October Hike. He didn't have his camera, his camcorder to record it all. But did Kenny Veach often take his phone with him on hikes? Because if he did, and under the circumstances that his phone has a camera, he could have used that. So it makes you think, was he making excuses? Surely they analyze his computer. Maybe his sister needs to be asked about this and what information they found. All that was said that when they did a house search and they checked Kenny Veach's search history, many search results came up saying, help me, help me, help me. And that was it. But that could mean anything. We got XXXX, welcome. Jeff Williams, channel days ago titled Lost Caves. Red-headed giant secret Area 51 story. 1 minute in, he finds climbing gear, but it looks like a gun holster like Kenny wore on his leg. Well, hold that for just a second. Let me search it right now. Maybe get some screenshots and we'll see. Or is he just called Jeff Williams? Have a quick look. Oh, yeah. 5 days ago. Huh. Why is he? It looks like I thought it was Indiana Jones then. Not quite. It depends where it was found. I mean, did he give a location? Is it anywhere near Joe May Road, Alamo Road, near the DNWR, Cow Camp Road? Anywhere near there? What quality is it on? Oh my god. Let me turn it down just a little bit because it's going to be glitching and lagging. Sigma, who would you say are the most level-headed M cave hikers on the scene today? That's a very good question. If you want my thoughts, the most level-headed hikers out there would definitely be SB Vega's Adventures because he still remains open. He doesn't, play down. He doesn't insult anyone. He does use reasoning ability, but he also suggests the other possibilities, which could be a bit out there, but all within reason. And I think SB is in every right and position to be talking when, of course, he's out there, but he's also been all over. So he knows what he's talking about. I did actually do a hiker analysis on SB some months ago. It was about quite a long video, to be honest, but it was well needed, long overdue. So SB is one. I would say Jeff Clark, I guess, is another level-headed individual. Some people nowadays may see what Jeff Clark says and think, oh, is that person going off track? Are they pushing their agenda too far? But, you got to understand with Jeff Clark, what he's gone through out there is crazy. Being zapped, vibrations. The only other person to feel that is Kenny Veach himself. So, that's quite important. And normally, when you're a lone individual going through something, experienced it, and you're trying to retell your story, will people believe you? Will people listen? So, to try and stay level headed with all that going on needs to be acknowledged. The family isn't looking anymore, or maybe it costs a lot of money to get help. So, the thing is, MF, at least what I know of and what's been mentioned publicly, Kenny Veach's family never searched for Kenny, never did a press conference, never did a press release, never did an interview. Only when the documentary came about in 2021. All before that, radio silence, at least on the surface level from what I've seen. On Kenny Veach's Facebook profile, No memorial, no comments, nothing by no one, anyone saying rest in peace, nothing like that. It's so weird. So this person is calling it climbing gear clue. Is it a holster or is it climbing gear? Because it's got like a hook or a carabiner thing, like a pouch. Hmm. Maybe I get a screenshot of it. Ooh. I'll get a screenshot of it now. Of that footage by that guy. Because it could be used for a video. You never know. But for it to only be found now, where was it originally? What were people doing originally? I don't actually know where he is. I mean, I've got it on mute because I don't want copyright. So he's in the Mojave Desert, but where exactly? It doesn't look familiar to me, as in. Does he give any coordinates? I found a lost cave deep in the desert and stories tied to the legends of the red-headed giants and Area 51 whistleblower reports that I'm hiking deep into a limestone canyon to track down a hidden cave I first spotted with a drone. Along the way, I'll show you the geology that creates these cave systems. But that's not all. I'm also showing a story I was told by a contractor who actually worked at an Area 51 and a remote facility often called S4. We've heard that, where he says he saw a large disc-shaped craft hanging from a gantry crane. But where is the location? I don't see it. No, snowstorm views. Hidden shaft. Hey. Climbing gear. Let me just add it to the favorites or something. Watch later, and then I'll look back at it. I find it weird he was also known as Desert Drifter. Who are you referring to there? Earthling, what Robin said about Eric, just a hiker who has gone missing because he knew too much. I'm going to be honest with you. Did Eric the hiker know anything? Did Eric even go out there? I mean, when you look on Twitter, I don't know if you've done it or not, but when you go on Twitter, there's like people responding to Eric the hiker, but the actual account doesn't exist either. Part of me thinks, was it an individual like Lemmy Kilmister that was making a prank, making it up, claiming that they were going to go out there searching, but in actual fact, they had no plan in doing it. They said it to look all good, gain some favor, and then backed out afterwards. If I can remember correctly, yeah. So Earthling and the other person that was bringing it up, Eric the hiker did have a YouTube channel, and on their channel, it was like video games, just mindless videos. And I think people were questioning, saying, have you gone out there? What's going on? And then Eric the hiker deleted his YouTube channel. So maybe harassment, too many questions for, oh, I can't take this anymore. I'll delete it all. Oh, Jeff Claw didn't get any notifications again. Naughty individual. Looks like the penguin stole your notification in the post. That's unfortunate. We've got Silver. Whenever I see Silver, I keep reading it as Silver Heels, but it's Silver Starlace. Will we get Silver meeting with Silver Heels at some point? Always distractions with this case. Oh yeah, Jeff Claude. There's been some interesting developments. There's let me just get up for you, Jeff. There's a guy called Ask Jeff Williams that did a video just recently, 5 days ago, Jeff Clark, called Lost Caves, Red-Headed Giants and a Secret Area 51 something. And he came across some hiking equipment on the ground. As for the location, I'm not too sure at this moment in time. But feel free to check out Jeff. Oh yeah, also Jeff Clark, you remembered the backpack situation? Well, it was mentioned by Gene Lukowski, but I'm sure there was a YouTuber that talked about it or something similar. And I reached out to them in the past, but they didn't follow it up. Supposed backpack found out there in the desert area. Do you remember that, Jeff Clark? Did I ever do a follow-up? Red-headed giant's cave is up near Lovelock. Ah, well, that's important to know. Jeff, you remember that's good as well. Lovelock, Nevada. Yeah. So near Lovelock, around that area. Well, then, based on that hiker recently, Jeff Williams did not come across Kenny's gear because it's too far away from the looks of it. The other thing, Jeff Clark, and this is probably going to make you have a meltdown, but don't worry. The fake Robin has given more coordinates on a cryptic video recently, and the coordinates, I believe, are directly on military land in Area 51 as well. I said it correct, Jeff. I hope you're proud. Say again. Really, Robin provided coordinates on his recent video, cryptic. Oh, yeah, don't worry, Jeff. That's fine. Yeah. So basically, Jeff, really, Robin, the fake one, has done a video recently. I mean, it's probably like today or yesterday. Cryptic, as usual, talking about A cave, the M cave. In the description of his video, there's coordinates. And when you type them in, it goes onto military land, basically. Silver, lol, absolutely not the silver heels. That always messes with your brain. I think I've come across it too much in the past. Okay. Oh, yeah, good point. Will do. Winning the fake Robin is actually Kenny Veach. I mean, this so-called Robin, because he's like into video games and stuff like that, I don't think Kenny Veach is the type of person to be engaging in that type of content. This so-called Robin is probably more my age, if not younger, because of I think he was playing Sniper Elite, he was playing Overwatch. They're video games that I've played myself at some point. Would be almost impossible to cross that border these days, exactly. Yeah, so what I'm saying, Jeff, is based on besides the pen drive, based on what Robin is doing with those coordinates, if someone was completely unaware for whatever reason, and they even tried to seek out those coordinates, it could end up bad for them if anyone did fall for it. Hmm. Yeah, Jeff, exactly. What I'll do, Jeff, I will do a video as soon as possible because I know Earthling wanted it as well of the military land, if I can get a hold of that again. Or that, oh, what was that? That diagram of what's owned by military, map it out properly, and then add the coordinates, which really Robin has pointed out. So then the map analysis video, I can say, hey, look, this is what Robin's doing, pointing to here. You're not allowed on it. Just to prevent people from actually trying to do it. It's not preventing or shutting people down from exploring, but it's just saying, well, if you were to do it, you could be screwed. But anything inside that red is, yeah, of course. I mean, I did do that map analysis that one time, but I probably didn't cover the whole board. I probably only covered the bit that's in parallel to Kenny's hike. So I probably should have included that unless I do it as an update. I'll just have to look back at the map projects because not all of them are showing up. Maybe because there's some old ones. It's interesting, Jeff, how a couple of people here and there have used drones since. 2 people. We've seen that guy just recently with some very good drone footage. And then you had off the trail January 2021 when it was snowing. And I remember you mentioned to them about maybe they should take the video down just so they don't get in trouble. But yeah, it does show that the drone footage can help a lot. Penalties would be bad. Yeah. Maybe if you shoved a camera in Jay Silverheel's mouth, put him on some kind of drone, camouflaged it, then might be able to get away with it. Just say it's a flying Silverheels. Hmm. Let me see where I'm with the notes. Welcome to anyone else that has joined along. Any little breaks in between on screen, feel free to take a break or get a drink. Or if you do need anything repeating, if anything does cut out, I can repeat myself, don't worry. What else do we have here? I've mentioned it, Jeff Clark, about Robin recently referring to, well, basically counter-claiming that he never reached out to Susan Veach privately in the background, and that supposedly Driven X was adding that in, like how you suggested. If that's the case, I don't know why they would be doing that. I don't know how the benefit in that sense. But the problem is, I'm not saying it myself, so there's no misunderstanding. I know Jeff Clark is skeptical of Driven X Adventures. I get that. Right. What would you say, Jeff Clark, as to why they supposedly do it? Oh, after clicks. Right. Hmm. I mean, I kind of understand that. As I said, I don't want to say too much because it'll probably get misunderstood because I know previously there was a bit of tension. I think, what was it? His recent video was called M Cave Gone or something like that. I mean, the reason why I call it M Cave Mine Shaft is because it could be the mine shaft entrance to the M Cave. It could be linked to the M Cave. I just do it for categorization purposes, just like other people do. We got Mad, welcome. I think the most effective way to find Kenny Veach is to use drones, uh, Wally or Valley by Valley from top to bottom, providing 4K footage to the crowd analyzed for relevant anomalies. Fair enough, yeah. It is a bit restricted as to what you can and can't do out there, then. Jeff, he claims he met a 30-year-old Kenny in the desert when the guy himself commented and said it was him, not Kenny. Hmm. I mean, I did a video at one point in the past. It was more like a viewer suggested one where there was a professor at a university in the US that was talking. They were bold, they were wearing glasses, they didn't look like Kenny Veach, but they sounded like Kenny. That can happen at times. When Driven came across that supposed Kenny, they sounded like Kenny. I would agree. Did they look like Kenny? In my opinion, no. But look, I can't talk too much because I've done my videos on the CCTV footage break-in, so I can't just dismiss it like that. Although we've got Hood Boys, welcome. If you didn't know Hood Boys, this is the first time a live stream has been done on a different device besides mobile. So it's a little bit better now. Screen might, I don't know if the screen size or resolution's fine. I didn't really consider that. Oh my God. Because I know the screen might be 4K. I don't know if it's recording in 4K. Oh goodness, the power consumption could blow up. Is it warm? No, it's actually cool, so that's good that. I don't know why it actually streams in those for the quality. I don't know if it's in 1080 or more, but I'll find out afterwards. It might be something to do with the resolution of the web camera. They don't do the math and understand how old Kenny would be now. How old would Kenny Veach be now? Is it like 50 something? 54? 55? Or maybe actually a bit older. Oh, we got Chels. Welcome to the channel. And behind half an hour or so, no problem. I've been following this case since early on. I've been watching your videos for years. Wow, that's good that. Thanks for compiling everything. I'm pretty convinced Kenny Veach is alive. Interesting. More videos to come as well. If anyone was wondering, as for a heads up in terms of how many videos I have to make, or like ideas to possibly make them, some could be very short, some could be a bit longer. It all depends. It could change. I've got at least 30 videos to make. That could change with time. We'll see. Silver Lace, what did you guys make of SB Vega's last hike above Really Robbins Canyon? I thought it was interesting that he found the rappelling equipment. I don't know if you were present earlier, Silver Lace, but what SB came across, as in that rope, that climbing equipment, Scott Natal came across it months beforehand in his own video. Scott Natal went there himself, but we never knew about it, really. The real name of Really Robbin Canyon, from what I know of, it doesn't actually have a name on the maps. So we call it Really Robbin Canyon because it's just easier to know. What I will say is Earthling, because I'm not too sure if you've come across it or not, but that Really Robbin Canyon, so far up, there is a tanned coloured rock kind of in the middle of the canyon with at one point gravel around it and a slab beside it. The tanned coloured rock has a symbol, or had at one point, on the side. It's similar to lettering of the Hebrew language, as in a symbol. And it translates in English to the letter M, as in M, cave. And not far from that tanned coloured rock, there's also a big cave, not shaped as an M, but just a cave. So it's very interesting. And what's happened, Earthling, is that tanned coloured rock, when it was captured by Really Robin, which he didn't, the original Robin, he didn't investigate it himself, but in 2020 captured it on camera. Fast forward to 2022, Jeff Clark finally found the canyon, inspected the tanned coloured rock, and all of a sudden the gravel has disappeared, nowhere to be seen. And the rock, some have said, looks different. Has it been changed or replaced? A video will be done on that at some point. I'll definitely catch up on it. Not that location, Raf. SB's second video from above the canyon. From above the canyon. So when you say that, Jeff Clark, well, so Jeff, did SB come across two lots of hiking equipment? It's only because, not in the reconnaissance one, but the one before that, where he went up Robbins Canyon, the intro of his video showed like a blue rope with a carabiner hook. That's what Scott Natal captured as well. Madness. Kenny probably got captured by the military after going into the M cave. Oh, there we go. Got Casey. Welcome. Jeff, yes, that tan rock could have been polished and all the tan. You know what? Because the mine shaft has been filled in, and before that, the brace was removed and pried off. But down Pitcher Canyon, the supposed covered up M cave, a rock was pulled away by someone by force. And now you've got the tanned coloured rock, which may have been polished, the symbol removed. You could get a rogue hiker or multiple going out there. Yes, West End has those straps also. Right, so you saying Jeff Klein, two separate videos, there's two lots of ropes in different areas. Two different areas, and Scott Natal was at one of them and captured it on camera. East End. Of course, I do need to catch up with the videos. What if Kenny committed? I mean, if Kenny did do that, technically his scent ending at the mine shaft And providing he passed away, on the ground near to the mine shaft, whilst his remains might have been scattered quickly, his equipment and all items should have remained at the mine shaft or near, like with the phone and coins, but they weren't, and that's what's strange. What I will do in the future, if I do true crime, would that be Noah Perez Grove or something else, I'll do it in the same format as for the live streams, and hopefully that works out fine. Oh my god, I've not even bothered making use of the chat. What a lazy person I've been. Might as well multitask at the same time. You probably can hear the keyboard, so apologies. I'm not able to look at the camera whilst typing because I'm not that able. Casey, thank you, bro. And how are you doing? I'm doing okay. And you? Live stream going well. Makes a change, doing a first time thing, and it actually works, because normally when people do a live stream or something, they're pressing all kinds of buttons, they're on mute, they don't know what they're doing. They say, are we here yet or are we not? Is it working? But fine at the moment. Why is my top trying to fall off itself? It's slanted on me, bit weird. Right, close the maps down there. What I'll do quickly, whether there's much or not, where's Facebook? There's some coverage on Kenny Veach on Facebook. Not lots, but some. I don't think you can put it in the latest order, though. So, 10th of October 2025, you had Rob Gavagan, or Gavavkin, however you say the name. Rob on YouTube, also known, or once known as Rob Dyke, that covered true crime cases, mysteries. I used to watch Rob in the past. He did a bit of a brief coverage saying, in the barren stretch of the Mojave Desert, one man went searching for a mystery, never came back. Kenny Veach was an experienced hiker that decides to drink beer after coming back from a long hike. Not exactly smart. Fearless, fascinated by the unknown and drawn to danger. In 2014, he claimed to have found a cave shaped like the letter M just north of Las Vegas. But it's not north of Las Vegas based on his wording. He said Nellis Air Force Base, which is east, which is closer to Frenchman's Sunrise Mountains, in which Jeff Claus acknowledged and says, well, Sunrise Mountains is where Kenny Veach blew his leg out once. Some patterns going on over that way. Closer he got, body vibrated until fear drove him away. Sharing his story online, internet begged him to go back, so he did. Weeks later, searches for... Oh no, they got the story wrong. Some big YouTuber got the story wrong. Basically, what's being said online by people over time is that Kenny Veach came across the cave. He wasn't prepared. Then he talked about it online and people told him to go back out. So he did. But what we know of is when he went back out, that was his October hike, the recorded one. He was unsuccessful. He made it back. He uploaded his video. And then more people told him to go back out. So he was going to do that one more time, which he did, but never came back. What this person's saying online is that the moment Kenny said about online of what he found and people told him to go back out, he did and never came back. That's incorrect. People seem to miss out the October hike. I think people still to this day think that Kenny Veach's October hike is the hike that Kenny Veach went missing gone. And it's like, no, he made it back to be able to upload the video. If his scent ended at the mine shaft, then why is there footage of him going past the mine shaft? Because it's a previous hike, it's not the final one. Earthling, we definitely need a video about robbing Canyon. Sounds mysterious and interesting. Do you know what? I'm actually going to be a very good boy. What I'll do, Earthling, because whilst I've been talking all this time, I'm the one that can actually post the links. I don't know what I've been doing all this time whilst I've been talking. I can literally get a hold of the link right now, Earthling, and I will show you because I did a map analysis of Robin, the hike area, the rock, and all that. MK search. Okay, that's the other one. Really, Robins, MK analysis. Which ones do you want? Oh, do you know what? We'll just throw them all up. Yeah. Copy that. Copy this. Get ready, Earthling. The links are dropping down onto planet Earth in a second. I should be able to do it. Or it might. It might let me. Or maybe not. Let me in. Let me into my own live stream. The only thing that I can't do is I can't tag. So, yeah. There we go. So there's one link. That's the M Cave rock symbol and cave symbol small update recap. I'm just getting the ones that I see on screen right now. Let me just check this clip out as well because gotta make sure. Because there would have been a hike analysis map one done in the past. Let me just see if it checks out because it's the correct one. I'll show you the proper map analysis, Earthling. I just need to check because you've got the rock anomaly like what Jeff Clark mentioned. I do have the map analysis already on the projects, but I just need to double check first of all. M symbol rock. Oh. Right, okay. Do I need to do an update, I wonder? Makes me think, I probably do. Zoom into that. Because the image quality has changed with time. Yeah. Map analysis. Yeah, that actually does need to be updated, to be honest. Have I actually done that? Robbins Canyon. M symbol. Two years ago. Mysterious MK symbol found in Kenny Veach video. Oh, that one. That's an old one. I mean, I have done an analysis of Robin's hike in other videos, but a dedicated one which I did is somewhat outdated. You remember Jeff Clark before we knew of the true location of the canyon, assuming it was the one beforehand, the one what you did in 2021, I think, and then at 2022 found the correct one. I need to do a dedicated video. So what I'll do, Earthling, I do have a link I can share with you to do the map analysis of the Robbins Canyon, but it's outdated, as in it's the wrong it's the wrong canyon. I need to do a separate video. What I'll do is I'll either change the title of that older one or I'll make it private, just so there's no misunderstanding. I think that's going to be a high priority video that needs to be done as soon as possible because normally I do dedicated videos, but I guess I didn't do an updated dedicated separate one there. Robbins Canyon map analysis. Updated. Doesn't have to be a long video, it can be very short, to be honest. Yeah, keep it short. I mean, not that it shows much, Flynn, but what you see highlighted in blue is what Jeff Clark did in 2021, what we thought was Robbins Canyon, but it was actually the one beyond that, further on, around that rock anomaly. It's actually on the other side of where Kenny Veach was hiking. So if I drop the coordinates briefly, very, very roughly the base of it. Tropical, would you be able to ascend JMA Canyon on a dirt bike? I think SB said little JMA Canyon, you could get something small up there, something very small. The other thing which has been covered in recent time, besides the so-called Robin stalking Scott Natal and Jeff Clark hearing voices in that footage, that is Robin's Canyon Raft. Yeah, and I'm just showing Earthling an update because I never did a dedicated video to it. I only did the only main one that I did, Jeff, was outdated. Yeah, so the other thing what we've looked at just recently was Kenny Veach and his girlfriend, the situation there, a 17-year age difference, which, you know, she is about 17 years older than Kenny. Under, what's that? Robbins Rock Anomaly is that big hill separate from the others. The Fishhook is the first deep canyon. Yeah. The Fishhook Burn, or whatever you call it, the one that you described originally, which was done as a preview video, which I did, and it turned out it wasn't the correct one, but the one after it was. But I really do need to do a separate, updated map analysis. Yeah, I've got it marked, Jeff. Let me just get it back up just to show you. I know you saw it anyway, but rock symbol. Let's get a good angle of it. You might not show clear on screen. Take care. You can see the fish hook. Yes, I can. Yes, Jeff. I mean, I've brought it up, of course, quite a few times in my videos when we've been doing crossovers and overlaps with things, but I just assumed that I already did an updated, dedicated, separate map analysis because the very first one, what I did was of the wrong canyon, and that's bad. It needs to be updated. It's a good thing Earthling brought that up, indirectly speaking. If anyone's got any other questions, thoughts, or theories, if there's any questions, Earthling, or any theories, ideas you have, or anything you need to know about, feel free to drop a comment and I'll see where we are. But there could have been ethical practices, ethical guidelines, and breaches when it came to Sharon Pilgrim being with Kenny Veach, with her being in the mental health field, lack of professionalism. Whether Kenny Veach was a client or not, probably not because of conflict of interest, but did Kenny Veach ever go to Sharon for psychological help? Did Sharon meet Kenny Veach before becoming a mental health expert? Not too sure. In the wrong one, I actually went all the way up to Silver Hill's flat top. Is that at the time when Silver Hill said he was going to put a cream pie in his face if he got it wrong? Sure, 2 hours. Okay. Everything all okay. 2,300 hours. I might end the live stream in about 10 or 15 minutes just so it doesn't get too late. But I will round up the other things that need to be mentioned. Of course, there's been a heavy focus on the mine shaft recently for good reason. Owen paid 10 million if he was wrong. Yeah, I remember that. And you saying, where do you get the money? Heavy focus on the mine shaft. I don't know if it was the last. Was it the last live stream? No, it wasn't. It was the last video I did, the last live premiere, and I suggested, could Kenny Veach's mine shaft and the surrounding area before Wild Horse Pass, could it be haunted? Do you know what? Bloody hell! Why did I not do a poll? Can I do a poll? I'm just typing in a poll. I probably could do it on mobile as well. I forget I've got more tools around me now. I know I'm a tool, but that's something else. Is Kenny's mine shaft haunted? Yes. No. I don't know. It's just a little one. Should have done it earlier, to be honest, but I only just thought of it now. What do you think happened to Kenny, Ref? Good one, Tropical. So, what I would say, I think it comes off two ways, to be honest. With looking into the scent that Kenny's scent ended at the mine shaft, it kind of implies he didn't go any further. So either he turned back, double back the way he came in the first place and then got picked up and taken away, or Kenny Veach was intending on hiking north to go over Wild Horse Pass and search for the cave, but something unexpectedly happened to him around or near the mine shaft, which caused him to just disappear into thin air. That's what I think at the moment. Oh yeah, Jeff does have footage of Robbins Canyon, yeah. I mean, I'm sure Jeff will explain it, but as for additional footage, was lost equipment too. With Kenny feeling vibrations the first time round when out there, could he have felt them a second time round, but at the mine shaft? If Jeff Clark can feel vibrations in a completely different area, and similar to Kenny, it could imply that the vibrations aren't directly linked to a cave, but more so directly linked to something that comes in common no matter where you are, the sky. Something above in the sky. Military equipment, aircraft causing it. Well, one of my cameras disappeared. One died altogether, and the last one had many issues. Yeah, that's true, that. And there was no hole in the back in the little pouch that you had. It just disappeared. Did something get pickpocketed or something? Hmm. Yeah, so very interesting with what's going on at the moment. It'll be interesting to see what other things that come along the way. The only thing what I was doing was the Noah Presgrove situation. Put those notes back there. With the Noah Presgrove situation, not too much has happened since. Was it OSBI done a counter subpoena against Noah's family estate, not being able to check or look at the additional evidence and discovery stuff. So there's lockdown on that. Not available public either. Not much else has happened since. Some people still consume my previous content, even if they do detest me, as we've seen. We've also seen some very unusual comments made about me. Some person called something Henderson claimed to be my friend or was a friend or something, and then weird stuff going on there. But besides that, not much else as in developments, just thoughts and theories and ideas. I think people are catching up as in that's all you can really do in the case. There's only so much you can work with. If there was newer party footage or more material that came out or people reached out to me about it, then I can do footage of that in terms of Nerd Presgrove, but not seen anything since. So there's only so much that I can do. I did say that when it comes to cases, I'll do as much as I can. And then if it gets to a point where I can't do much more within reason, then I'll stop for a bit. Just depends. Because I don't want to be forcing stuff out. I'd come across as desperate and not natural. You know what I'm going to say. Alien, paranormal, classified tech. What, GLP? Godlike Productions. Oh, good. Did I just say that? Drink. My lips are so dry. Welcome to anyone else that has joined late to the Kenny Veach live stream. Latest discussions, latest developments, and looking back at previous things of interest. I might have to look back at some of my older videos as well in regard to Kenny Veach, just in case they need to be reiterated. If they got forgotten about in the past, it can be brought to light again. Also done well not spilling any liquid tonight as well. That's good. No natural way for that camera to be gone. Yeah, fair enough. Heavily secured. Hmm. The more secure it is, the more tight it is where it's located. You thought you might have felt something if, like, a person was trying to pull it out. So, safety strap and carabiner also gone. Yeah, it's interesting that. I mean, not that it links, but in terms of that gear, what SB came across, the rope left behind and whatnot, what were they doing? Why did they leave it behind? I mean, Jeff, in terms of the sword intent, you think that's still related to Scott Natal? It's interesting though how the bag of it looks similar to Kenny. Short missing time and gone. When you say short missing timed, do you mean you lost time on that hike as well, or no way to go back up that way to retrieve the straps? Fair enough. Fair enough. I get that. I wonder how far it dates back to. I wonder. Mm. Any answer the camera could not disappear. I wonder if Kenny Veach ever lost any items on his final hike when going out there. I wonder. Looked old to me. Hmm. What time are we on? A quick look at the time, and then what I might do is a countdown. Ooh, okay. Kenny was missing time after he got vibrated. He just didn't realize it. Hmm. I mean, I don't think it might not mean much, but Kenny Veach's hike footage did glitch out at times when he's walking by, so could there been any interference going on? Need another hike to compare the time to. Yeah. I mean, Kenny Veach didn't show his raw timestamps or files. Did the dog catch Kenny's scent past the car towards Concrete Road or just between the car and the mine? So I can't remember where I heard it from, Tropical, but yeah, originally said that the scent led up to the mine shaft, but either somewhere on YouTube, Gene Lukowski or somebody else was claiming that the scent was also found Pine Nut Road, which is unusual. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I get that comparison, Jeff, comparing it with SBs that took what, 30, 40 minutes, and yours, Jeff, based on your photos taken, took 2 hours, 10 minutes to cover under 1 mile, zero point 0.7 miles. I mean, under certain circumstances, even if you don't have any footage to compare to, if you've got photos of point A, point B, and you know the distance from each location, and you roughly know the time it would take to cover that distance naturally, and if it's taken much longer than that, then clearly something is wrong there, just based on common sense. Mm. Silver, remember hearing that too. That's good to know, of course. So, if anyone has any additional questions or thoughts, feel free to share them down below in the live chat. I'm going to do a little countdown now, and then I'll probably end the stream because of the time it's gone on for. Of course, big shout out to everyone that is present and come and gone in between. I'll when I next do a live stream, I'll definitely consider doing it under this setup again if everything's fine and okay. If anyone needs any adjustments or any suggestions or any critiques, feel free to leave them in the comment section afterwards. Make sure I've got the live chat replay on as well so you can look back. Jeff, he completed his hike in 4 hours. Mine took double or more, and he stopped to eat lunch. I didn't. Okay. No, you're comparing it more in total. Fair enough. Mm, appreciate that, Strawberry. Glad that you like it. And yeah, everything. But the laptop itself is cool. It's not noisy, so that's a good thing as well. No noise with the fans. I know sometimes that can happen. But I think this device is designed for more heavy tasks, so good time. Keeps interrupting. Well, I can always repeat myself, Jeff, if need be. Don't worry. I guess we're doing it on a different device. Um, the setup is a bit different. So I'll count down from 20. Any additional points or questions, you can always leave them in the chat and I'll respond back. 20, You're welcome, Silver. Much appreciated. 19, 18, 17, 16. Oh, yeah, sorry, Jeff. Yeah, I didn't mention that earlier. No, I probably did mention it, but not maybe when you were there. So yeah, normally, Jeff, when I am on mobile, when doing a live stream, if you want to call them adverts, they don't seem to be present because they get automatically added after a live stream. But when it comes to on desktop or laptop, the ads are already implemented whilst doing the live. It's kind of the equivalent of a pre-recorded video, how it's done in that sense. I understand if it was a live stream or a normal video, as in ASMR, where it's supposed to be like relaxing sounds, continuous flow, then I would make every attempt to put aside the ads. Because when you're listening to something peaceful, you're trying to sleep or relax, you don't want interruptions there. Pay for premium. Oh boy. I've had a few, it helps out. Much appreciated, MF. But yeah, we just see how things go over time. If any little adjustments need to be made, I guess they could be done. We've got Key West, welcome. Oh, speaking of welcome, Silver. Silver did what Jason Silverheels could never do, is become a member on the channel. So big shout out to Silver Star Lace. Silver Lace. There we go. Access to a variety of badges and emojis now. I'm sure you'll see them yourself. There is a Kenny Veach related custom emoji, the M Cave, that one there. So there is actually an M Cave. Probably should have used my hairline for that, but changes can be made down the line. Fair enough, MF. I think with live streams as well, some people call them podcasts. I think you can just get away with listening to the audio here and there. Sometimes ads could help if you need a break to stretch, a reminder to do stuff. I don't see the ads on my screen, so I'm just stood there like a statue. It probably would have been better if YouTube implemented adverts on screen for me. So then I know when to stop talking and then when to start talking, unless there's like a manual thing, but I don't know how messy that is. There we go, Silver. Indeed. Right, so on 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Oh, criminals just shown up. Hi there, Criminal Med. $14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I'll just wait for future updates about Canyon and Border. I'm sure they'll be coming around soon, Earthling. All under control. I probably could try it in an Irish accent, but I don't think it will go too well. Top of the morning, Earthling greetings. I'll just wait for the future updates about the Canyon and Border. Well, I'll get to that. I can do Robbins Canyon tomorrow, maybe, possibly. I could even tag you in the description so you'll be able to find it direct. Strawberry with the zips. Those zips need to come undone. Where are we with the countdown? 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, tree, 2, 1, and there we go. So, I do know how to end the stream, thankfully. That'd be awkward if I set it up and I didn't know how to stop it. I've been stuck here for all night. So take care, MF, Hood Boys as well, Crypto too, and anyone else that's hanging about. So yeah, I might try and do a really rubbing Canyon map analysis update tomorrow, dedicated video. See where we are from there and do videos in a certain order. Still a lot to come. Probably try might try a short clip. The only thing I will say is, appreciate that, Key West, take care. It's strange how the shorts video that I did earlier today, in terms of performance, YouTube has tried, I don't know, holding it back a little bit. Did it at the mine shaft. 95 people have watched it. It's flatlined. 76% have stayed to watch the video, but it's just not been put out there yet, which is very strange. Well, we'll see how that goes, if there's an update or if it needs re-uploading. Time will tell. With that all being said, my name's Right Raf. Thanks for watching. Goodbye and good night for now. There we go.